Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. Well, while Glenorin is way to the south partying with the Gondor girls, we are still up here in the mines of Moria. We left off right up here in this area. As you see right there, we are off just to the west of the deep descent along that passage, trying to find out where it goes and what this feeling of dread we were having and the feeling of unease that we were having what is coming from. So we are gonna put our stealth back on, travel back in, and see if it darkens up again like it did. I think I told you all in the last one that, yeah, whenever we were walking up here and it was getting dark, that was giving you a taste of what Moria used to be like in the past. Yeah, this here. See, this is what Moria used to look like. I know I repeated it before, but, you know, everything wasn't blue. You weren't looking at the world through, you know, with full lights and a blue filter on. You had darkness. And lights in the darkness really stood out when you would see these braziers off in the distance, or the orc campfires. You would see them off in the distance and they meant something. Yeah. Not quite the same now. Let's see. Ooh. I'm looking at rings there, but those are on the other side. That's the deep descent you see over here on the map. See the quest givers in the deep descent right past that wall there. Alright, let's see if we can get past these workers and defenders and all without alerting any of them. So we could get on up there into that part of it if we wanted to. Don't think there's anything up there to attract our attention. Let's see how far on up this goes. So the tracks peter out, but the actual cave continues on. Wonder what we will find up this way. Just going into the Great Delving now. So what part of the Great Delving are we in? It's a collapse section. Ah, is that Durin's vault? That is the Vault of Durin. Okay. So where it comes in, there's a collapsed area. See, we are right down there at the bottom of the central passage here. There's the Vault of Durin, and as you see, we can see into the vault through the rubble here, but we're not going to be able to get out of it. Okay. Well, that's got that settled. All right. I am going to travel on back now. Head back down into the Silvertine Lodes. I'll probably go up this little wooden ramp just to see if there's anything at the top of it. If there is, we will rejoin you. If not, we will rejoin you when we get back out of this cave and back into the main part of the lode. So we will see you then. Okay, we have gotten back. This right here is the passage that leads up to where the Grebig were. The only thing on the platforms was a hive queen and a bunch more defenders, a couple of which I've had to fight, as you see by the loot bag down here in the lower right corner. So we are back here. Kind of sneak past the glowworms. This is one thing that I also noticed whenever we were talking about how they brightened everything up. One other thing that here's a flashing one. This must be a dead end as well. Yes, it is. Here's another dead end, so let's mark that one. And then we'll be able, there we go. We post signs on dead ends. What the hell? We'd already posted on 2. Don't tell. Signpost. Oh, we gotta put sign. Where'd the frickin' signpost come from? What does that say? Dead end? Alright, let's head up this way and see if there's a damn signpost. There they are. Now that we've done that, now we've got signposts. Why didn't it just give us the damn signpost to start with? That wasn't lit up a while ago. Y'all saw it. It was not lit up. So we not only had to find them, only after we found them could we put signs on the signpost. How sweet. Alright. So there should be another one there. Yes, there is. Okay, let's move on up and get it. And we got to fight the dragonette. That's not going to be much of a much. It's another flyboy, so he'll go down quick. That's the problem. You don't have gravity to help fortify yourself. Which knight was it? Was the Green Knight? Was it the Green Knight in Arthurian legend? The one that as long as his feet touched the ground, he was pretty much invincible. And the way to defeat him was to pick him up off the ground, and he lost his powers. I'm wanting to say I was right. If that's not right, I'm sure I will find and look it up and put a yes or an idiot here and let you know. Okay, back over to Goofy. We got to go tell Goofy about his rail project. We're going to tell the miners about the platform and all. And they should be right around the corner. Yes, they are. Here we go. Let's let Goofy know about the rails and the various tunnels.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Dread, you say? Bah, a dwarf does not fear a little dreariness in a mine shaft. According to you, that is the best and only road, and so that is where we will begin. I thank you for your report, Gnarlo, however nonsensical its delivery. Oh, how sweet of you. Damn fool. Alright, we've had both leveled up to 11 and 14. No
Stand and speak with me. The fate of khazad-dum hangs in the balance.
According to our maps and Balin's own records, there's a mining site along the tunnel where you began to fret for your safety. You should try to overcome your worry and see what you can find there at Balin's expedition. My hope is that there is a great potential in that mine for our own dwarves. Do let me know what you find, Gnarlo. I'm counting on you. What do you mean, let you know what I found? I've already found it. What's the other thing? They mine too fast. Oh, there we go, so I told you. Very well then, you will see. We will be finding veins of mithril and clusters of gems in no time. Oh. That's a solo quest, so there's an instance there. Whenever we're ready to travel, let's go on around here and tell him about the platform and the crude maps. Or the platform and the beasts. Reclaiming the platform?
Balin came, but we have heard no word from him.
Thank you for your efforts, Gnarlo. We're terribly short-handed here, given the threat of the goblins all around us. Whether or not those miners ever find anything, I rest easier knowing that they are safe. Alright, what do we got here? Thulfer's Burden. Yeah, that's not as good as my Matham. Miner's Hammer, which we might take if there's nothing else. Dwarf Apprentice's Offerings. Used to select a rare piece of might-based medium armor. Well, since we've never done it, let's choose that. I've never seen Dwarf Apprentice's Offerings. And our weapons just keep on leveling up. Why don't we take a look at that? Did it go ahead and put it into our... It did. It put it in our inventory. I guess this is what they brought in before they had the Matham things. Let's see what we got. There we go. Dwarf Apprentice's Helm. So there you go. Before they had the Matham armor and all, they had the Dwarf Apprentice stuff that came in. And this right here was definitely in after... None of this existed when I came through on my Dwarf. So this would have been pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, what's the most expensive piece? Because we're going to sell it back. Probably the breastplate. 545. Yep, let's go with the breastplate and select it. Alright, that's pretty cool there. Alright, let's tell Thalfer about the other one.
I am not sure khazad-dum can be restored. The orcs have surely ruined it.
The miners of Menem-Berej. Ah, well done, my friend. We will have Menem-Berej back in working order in no time.
If we drive the orcs from khazad-dum, will it be enough?
Lighting the pit. There are many lamps set along the winding mining path that descends into the Silvertine Lodes, but it has been many years since they've been lit. Will you patrol the long descent and light the lamps as you go? The fire should help to drive away the enemies that have settled here, and help the dwarves to see as they work and explore. We'll certainly take it, because we will be traveling down that way eventually, and it will be a good thing to to pick up, you know, once again, another thing we can do as we travel down that way. I'm going to go to the provisioner, sell off my yard trash loot here, and we will rejoin you whenever we finish up with that.
The orcs will one day burn upon the crucibles of our fathers.
Okay, we have gained a little coin. We are going to travel back up here, back toward the deep descent, because Trotter let us know that, you know, we were thinking about, still got to collect those crude maps, and there's one on a platform way up there that I haven't been able to figure out how to get to yet. But he told me that a better way to go would be when we came into the deep descent up here and first entered. You remember we came past the deep descent into the Silvertine, and we had that choice of left and right. Oh, that was the other thing. Y'all have seen the dragonettes, y'all have seen the diggers, y'all have seen the glowworms especially. So they said one of the things that they did in the Moria revamp was they said they moved the monsters, moved the mobs off of the main pass, because yeah, as long here, there used to be a couple of things along here. You usually had to fight like one of the burrowers there, and this part here, there was always a couple of glowworms along this path. You always had to fight 2 or 3 glowworms or this same sort coming down through here before you could get out through that path there. So yeah, you can tell they've definitely cleared it out, because nothing spawns here now. See how like the deep claw gnasher, that's the closest one you have. So there were 2 or 3 spawn sites out here. So once again, yeah, it's made it easier to move around, but it's just like removing all the dark gloom that sat in here. You know, it has removed part of what made Moria, unfortunately. Alright, let's come on down this way. But as you see, it's only from the main paths. The side paths still apparently have plenty of mobs on them. Okay, here's Stilling. Armor of the Deeps.
If only the elves were not so stiff-necked, we might make a swift victory of this endeavor.
The make of the goblin armor disturbs me, Gnarlo. It is finer than I would have expected them to have, and certainly to make themselves. If the goblins are being supplied with armor and equipment from elsewhere in khazad-dum, then I think we had best find out where that source is and remove it. However, I cannot be certain of my fears unless I have some of their armor to examine. For that purpose, I would have you collect some of the armor from the goblins while you're in Gamel-Philic. So we've got a camp over here, apparently, of Gamel-Philic. So we need to collect 7 armor scraps. We'll do that while we're there, because we're going to be killing them to get the other crude maps. And we still need to kill at least one more.
khazad-dum belongs to Durin's folk!
At least one more goblin to finish up chapter 6 here. Lawlessness among goblins. Well, Gnarlo, we have been lucky so far in that the goblins infesting khazad-dum seem to be terribly disorganized with inept leaders. Nevertheless, we cannot relax our guard. If I read things rightly, there's one particular leader among the nearby goblin tribe who has been bold enough to organize a raid against the deep descent, and I think it would be best if he doesn't live long enough to carry out his ploy. See if you cannot perhaps weaken the goblin forces in Gamel-Philic and deal with their chieftain while you are at it. Okay. We will do that while we were down here collecting the stuff that we need to collect for the mission as well. Alright. Let us stealth up, and we're going to go see if we can stab this Moria scout here. Anybody on the other side I need to know about? Alright, there's Gamel-Philic. Move up and stab him in the back. Looks like we might get to take out a hunter or gnasher while we're at it. Yep. Alright, that took care of the thing. We have defeated a goblin down here in Gamel-Philic as well. Did we get an armor shard? We did, and we got some armor shards as well. We'll take this gnasher here on down. There we go. So like I said, let me pull up on the map here, and you'll see right there we went to the left after we came down to the crossroads. Before, we went to the right. We came down here where that camp was and our little things are the dead ends. This time we came down and took to the left to come over here to Gamophilic. Okay, and what a nasty looking place it is, too. Typical goblin architecture, lots of skulls, and I wouldn't be surprised to see dried, desiccated bodies, and some perhaps not so dried and desiccated, hanging from cages in the ceiling. Alright, another Moria scout. See if we can stab him. Like that weird little shark fin thing he wears on his back there. Reminds me almost of the armor some of the folks are wearing in the Mad Max game and the Mad Max movie, for that matter. Okay, we're gonna keep killing a few more of these until we defeat enough goblins and get enough armor scraps and find that crude map still. Oop, I see one flashing right up ahead, so we're not gonna quite bug out quite yet. Let's take out this guy. And we'll grab that crude map. Come back here. That was a deadly insult in goblin speak there. Even if I wasn't invading their territory, he would have to kill me just because of what I said about his mother. Alright, so we got the crude maps. Okay, another Moria guard. Yeah, quit trying to do your mojo on me. It ain't gonna work. Okay. Almost where we need to be. Another goblin. Alright. I'm torn. Do I keep collecting scraps and all, or do I make my way back on out of here and go bring the crude maps back to Broger? I think I'm gonna keep collecting the scrap. I think I'm gonna keep collecting scraps and armor pieces. I don't think I'm gonna go after Gothrog because I think he's a good deal deeper in the place. But I mean, while I'm here, he says, and then notices this guy over here named Gothrog. I wonder if he could be related. Why don't we go pay him a visit, shall we? I swear he used to be a lot deeper in this camp. Oh, you are an ugly one, aren't you? Great piece of work there, Turbo. Great piece of work. Alright, we have defeated Gothrog. Very good. Oh, hush, you're dead. Quit scouting. Okay. Nope. Forgot to sneak up, didn't I? Let's kill a few more goblins. Get the armor scraps and all. And then we'll head back on out of the hallway. So when we finish up with that, I will see y'all then. And we'll remember sneak this time. Okay, we've accomplished everything we set out to do down here. Apparently, Gothrog's cousin has shown back up. God, he's a loud mouth. I think they've all got Napoleon syndrome. They all want to make sounds and threats far in excess of their abilities and size. Taking a little damage to our boots there too. We'll have to do repair work when we get back. All right, let's talk to Styling. Armor of the Deeps.
Azog's folk have not yet fully repaid for their crimes against us.
I had feared this was the case. Upon a closer look, it is no mystery where this came from. These suits incorporate old pieces of dwarf metal and armor from long ago. The craftsmanship is so fine that even the vast span of years between has not destroyed it. Unfortunately, what time cannot ruin, the foul hands of goblin smiths have. Some of these pieces must have been rebeaten and reworked a dozen times by now, and worn by even more goblins over the years since they were looted from the fallen or from hidden armories of old. I fear they are of no use to us now. They serve only as another reminder of the ancient tragedies that engulfed fair khazad-dum in darkness. That's why I love all these side quests, you know. It's nice to, you know, you got the ability to just go through and go through from one step.
We will reclaim khazad-dum for Dine Ironfoot.
Go through one step of the epic quest to the next, but you know, you miss out on a lot of the story and the side stuff here. So, Gathrok has fallen. That should set the goblins back again in their efforts to organize against us. Whoops, alrighty. Well, we got shoulders that aren't going to be as good, and Gathrok's foe, which is not going to outdo our legendary. So, let's see, 880. That's a nice set of shoulders, though. That really is. 862. Nice set of shoulders. That would have been a good piece there. Good piece back in the day. What do you got now?
Stay a moment. We will need your aid against the orcs of Moria.
I explored this secret passage while you were distracting the goblins inside Gamophilic, and I'm quite pleased to report that it's safe. It brings us to a tunnel right near Puklor, who looks to be a terrifying foe, the likes of whom I had not anticipated. But there's good news. I thought I spied a loose bit of rock that would make a good trap for Puklor's downfall. If you sneak behind through this hidden passage, I think you will be able to get through and crush that villain by luring him into the trap. Alright, we'll accept it. And that will, okay, so that's a go. That will be something that we do when we come back this way again. We'll go see if we can drop a stone on Puklor, or whoever he is. Because we seem to have suddenly been given that name without any context to it. In the meantime, though, we are going to go back over to the crossroads. I think that's where Broger is. Yes, he's back at the crossroads. So we are going to travel back over there. Back through the Great Delving. And we will rejoin you when we re-arrive back over there. We have entered back into the Chamber of Command, just off of the Chamber of the Crossroads there. And we need to go over here and talk to Broger and show him the crude maps that we have found. See what he has
These
to
maps
say.
do not tell me anything.
Chapter 6, Goblins in the Western Halls. I cannot complain about this errand of yours, Gnarlo. You have slain many goblins despite your search for a forge that likely never existed. These crude goblin maps tell me nothing I didn't already know. The goblins are filthy, disgusting creatures, and their maps are worthless. Show them to my cousin Bozy, though. Perhaps he has more patience than I and would tell you something useful. Boy, he is just as much a sourpuss as he was over there whenever we were trying to get into Moria. Remember, he was right outside of the Brackwater Cave. It was just as big a pain in the ass then. Oh, we have to show him to Bozy, not Bori. So Bozy is back out inside the Chamber of the Crossroads again. Let us go on down and talk to him. Hello, Bozy. Here are some maps for you.
My cousin might not see the answer, but I do.
The goblins have made their homes here in the darkness for a long time. These maps might have secrets to show us, however unsavory they seem. Bozy peers at the maps for a long while, and then his face creases into a wide smile. I may have unraveled our riddle, Gnarlo. I do believe that we can discern the location of the Heart of Fire from these maps. Here ready for another weapon level up.
It is very simple, my
Oh,
friend.
I'm
Let me
disappointed.
explain it to you.
Didn't happen. Chapter 7, The Empty Passage. Look here, Gnarlo. The location of Nar Kaleb, the Heart of Fire, is on this crude goblin map. Do you not see it? Bozy laughs, clearly enjoying the attention. Let me put it this way, my friend. We know that the door to the Heart of Fire is sealed. Indeed, you discovered the trick to opening it within the word Horde of Durin. But the goblins cannot know this trick. The pages that held the secret were disturbed only by deep claws. If the goblins had found those pages and understood their significance, they would have certainly taken them. We are not looking for a room on this map, Gnarlo. We are looking for a stretch of undisturbed wall behind which such a room could lie hidden. And I have found just such a spot. Let me know when you are ready, and together we will travel to this place. All right. So whenever we've come back, we are going to talk to Bozy and travel to find Nar Kaleb, the Heart of Fire, the Heart of Flame. So that is where we are going to end up. I know we are running into the 20s here on our counter. So we will finish up this episode there. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've managed to get a few things done. A few little side quests and all done. Got another chapter out of the way. And got a few more side quests to take on next time. And when we go, we will also have an instance where we will travel into the Heart of Fire. So we will see you then. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. I think today is the last day of the Fall Festival in the Haunted Burrows, so be sure and go take part in that. If there's anything left that you need to get, any of the horses or anything, or any of the other items. And we will see you next time. So bye-bye and have a good day.